In a forest at the end of the world, a fire eternally blazes. The animals and trees have adapted to the flames. They are always on fire and yet never burn. The smoke rises over a city just beyond the edge of the wood. The people inside the buildings look out from their cubicles into the dark sky. Every so often, one rises from his desk and takes a long trip down the elevator. He walks toward the smoke and keeps going, walks straight into the forest and is devoured by fire. Every so often, an animal walks out of the forest and into the streets of the city. A stag will walk through traffic, its antlers ablaze, its fur reaching up in tongues of flame. It is caught and put into a cage where the fire cools and settles and never reignites. Between the city and the woods lies the ecotone, a thin stretch of grass and moss and speckled rocks. Sometimes the people come down from their office buildings and sit on boulders and look into the fire and let their eyes unfocus. Sometimes the animals stroll out of the fire to cool their muzzles on moss, to stretch their fiery limbs. Sometimes they come at the same time. A weary person walks out of her office and takes off her shoes in the grass. She sits and listens to the sounds of the woods, the singing of birds, the crackling of fire. An animal wanders out too, a rabbit or wolf, a bear or moose. It glows in flame, its eyes shine in its own fire. The person and the animal keep still, each afraid of the other. They think about plunging into the world in front of them. They think about backing into the world behind them. They are transfixed. They stay where they are and look into the startled eyes of the other. In the ecotone, the people and the animals stare into each other and are filled with wanting. Okay, and I have two more. Okay, this one is a poem that I specifically wrote about fairy tales, so I thought it would be appropriate. I don't know how many people in this room have seen juniper wood. Like when you cut it, it's like brown and white and twisty. And I saw a house made out of juniper, and I wrote this poem. It's called Splinter Tongues. From a distance, this juniper house could be a candy house. Chocolate and caramel swirling up porch pillars and trellises, or a house of marble cake, stained glass windows, sugar-sweet sunlight. A woman could live in a juniper house, and the villagers would be happy to burn her, to shove handfuls of her house into mouths wet with wanting, and remember fairy tales with each lick of wallpaper, each bite of cabinet door, to pull glass and splinters out of crooked teeth. The children would be safe in the night, witch-free, full of splinters but full, till the morning found them empty and they cried to be filled.